Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today's journey takes us deep into the history, mystery, rarity and hidden money-making secrets of the United States of America 2001 New York State Quarter, a coin that quietly sits in pockets and drawers, yet for collectors, it holds stories far beyond its silver-colored shine. This is not just a state quarter. This is a tiny metal window into American heritage, the Empire State's pride, and the dreams of thousands of collectors who search day and night to spot a rare one hiding among the ordinary. Imagine this: you open an old jar of coins, maybe lying forgotten in a cabinet for years. You pour them out, expecting nothing. But suddenly, a single quarter catches your eye. It shows the Statue of Liberty reaching upward, the words "Gateway to Freedom," and a graceful outline of New York State behind her. Most people would slide it into a vending machine without hesitation. But a collector sees something else. They see the year 2001. They see a state quarter that came out during a time when millions were being produced, but only a small portion today hold the rare traits that send collectors into bidding wars and auctions into frenzy. That is where the excitement begins. The New York Quarter was the 11th coin released in the legendary 50 States Quarter program. Its design celebrates the very heart of New York's identity. Lady Liberty extends her torch, symbolizing hope and guidance, while the small lines across the map represent the historic Erie Canal, a path that changed American trade forever. Yet beneath that symbolic beauty, hidden within the metal itself, are the tiny imperfections, the minting mishaps, and the special traits that transform a regular 25-cent piece into a treasure worth real money. Collectors search for the rare errors that only a trained eye can detect. Some coins come with a doubled image on the words, where the phrase "Gateway to Freedom" appears slightly shadowed due to a doubled die strike. On certain pieces, you might notice the outline of the map appearing thicker or partially misplaced, a visual clue that the die shifted during minting. A handful of New York quarters show die cracks running across the torch or the state borders, forming lightning-like lines that make each affected coin a one-of-a-kind collectible. Even the edges of the coin can hide valuable surprises. In a few rare examples, the clad layers didn't bond perfectly, causing parts of the surface to peel or appear different in color. These errors create rarity, and rarity attracts collectors like magnets. There are also off-center strikes where the design drifts away from the center, leaving a crescent of blank metal visible. The more dramatic the shift, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some New York quarters have broad-struck errors, where the collar wasn't tight during minting, allowing the coin to expand slightly, giving it a stretched, unusual appearance. And then there are the truly extraordinary pieces, coins struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as a dime planchet or foreign coin planchet, which instantly elevate their value into the world of high-end numismatics. These are the finds collectors dream of discovering. Each of these errors tells a miniature story of the precise moment the coin was born at the mint. A shifted die, a misaligned press, or a worn-down stamp can create mistakes that last forever in the metal. While billions of flawless quarters circulated across the country, only a tiny number of these flawed beauties survived the minting process. That is why avid collectors inspect New York quarters with magnifying glasses, bright lamps, and endless patience. Every error is a chance, a jackpot hidden in plain sight. For a coin with such deep symbolism and such thrilling varieties, the New York Quarter has become a favorite among collectors, beginners, and experts alike. People love hunting for it in old wallets, rolls of bank quarters, pocket change, and inherited coin jars. The dream that one ordinary-looking coin could become an extraordinary discovery is what fuels this hobby with excitement. Even without errors, a high-grade New York quarter with flawless surfaces and mirror-like shine can rise sharply in value when professionally graded. The higher the condition, the higher the demand, and now, as promised, the genuine market value. A regular circulated New York quarter usually brings only its face value. But coins with strong errors and high mint state grading have sold for impressive amounts. In real auctions, rare error pieces and high-grade mint state examples have achieved prices reaching up to several $100s, and in the most exceptional cases, over $1,000 in words. Coin number 2. There are coins that simply pass through our hands unnoticed, and then there are coins that carry stories, heritage, and hidden value locked inside their metal. Today, we explore one of the most special quarters in the entire state quarter program, the 2003 Alabama State Quarter. A coin that honors a remarkable American woman, a coin filled with symbolism, a coin that many collectors hunt for relentlessly, and a coin that becomes even more exciting when errors and rare varieties come into play. So listen closely, because every second of this journey may help you discover a treasure that has been hiding right under your nose. The moment you look at the Alabama State Quarter, you feel a sense of history that is deeper than any ordinary coin. Right on the front of the design stands Helen Keller, the first deaf and blind person to earn a college degree, an icon of courage and determination. Her portrait on this tiny silver-colored canvas carries a message that even the smallest piece of metal can hold a universe of meaning. Around her are longleaf pine branches, clusters of magnolia blossoms, and the word "Spirit of Courage" written in Braille and English. No other state quarter includes Braille letters, making this coin instantly stand out among the 50 designs, but what most people don't realize is that this beautiful design also hides rare varieties, collectible errors, and hidden money opportunities that only trained collectors notice. And that is where the real excitement begins. Imagine holding a quarter that millions of people have seen but only a handful have studied closely enough to spot the small mistakes that turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a high-value treasure. These tiny flaws from the mint are what makes serious numismatists pay attention. One of the most visually striking errors found on this coin is the double die variety. In these rare pieces, the letters around Helen Keller appear slightly doubled, almost as if the coin shows a faint shadow behind the text. The Braille dots themselves may also show faint doubling, creating an unusual raised effect that instantly grabs attention once seen under a magnifying glass. Collectors love this because Braille doubling is extremely uncommon in United States coins. Another rare error type comes from die cracks. These appear like tiny lightning bolts across the pine needles or magnolia blossoms. Sometimes the cracks extend near Helen Keller's chair, adding dramatic lines that were never meant to be part of the design. Every die crack is unique, meaning that each example becomes a one-of-a-kind collectible. When the die used to strike the coin begins to wear out, lines and breaks appear, and those marks become valuable to collectors who love imperfections with personality. There are also off-center strikes where the entire design shifts away from the middle. These are instantly noticeable and can look as though part of the side of the coin is blank. The more off-center the coin is, the rarer it becomes. Even a small shift, 5 to 10%, adds value, but the real gems are the dramatic off-center pieces where Helen Keller's portrait is pushed toward the edge of the coin. Then there are broad strike errors, where the coin was struck without its collar in place. These coins appear stretched out, slightly wider than normal, and the edges look smooth instead of ridged. They feel wrong in your hand in a way that is exciting, like holding something the mint never intended to leave the facility. Even more thrilling are wrong planchet errors. These happen when a quarter design is accidentally struck on metal meant for another coin. For example, a 2003 Alabama quarter struck on a dime planchet results in a smaller, thinner piece with incomplete edges. These are extremely rare and can fetch high collector prices because wrong planchet errors are among the most desirable across all state quarters. Collectors also search for coins with missing clad layers. In these examples, one side of the coin may appear copper-colored, while the other side looks normal. When the top layer of the metal fails to attach, it creates a coin that instantly stands out in any collection. And because the Alabama quarter has a bold design with high contrast areas, missing clad errors look very dramatic on this coin. Even perfectly struck Alabama quarters can hold value when found in pristine condition. Mint state pieces with mirror-smooth surfaces, no scratches, no bag marks, and flawless shine are always in demand. When professionally graded, even normal coins can rise sharply in value if they are among the highest graded examples known. This coin is beloved by collectors because it represents history, beauty, symbolism, and rarity all at once. It's the only state quarter featuring Braille. It honors one of America's most inspiring figures. And it offers so many chances for rare errors and varieties that the thrill of searching never ends. Anyone watching this video may already have one in a drawer, in a piggy bank, or sitting unnoticed inside a handful of pocket change. All it takes is careful inspection to possibly uncover a hidden treasure, and now, as promised, the real market price in simple words. A normal circulated Alabama quarter holds face value, but rare varieties, dramatic errors, and high-grade mint state examples have sold in real auctions for amounts reaching several $100s, and in the most exceptional cases, more than $1,000 in words. Coin number 3. There are moments when a simple coin becomes the center of a mystery, a piece of history, and a dream for collectors all at once. And among all the state quarters ever released, there is one coin that shocked the coin world, one coin that created a storm of excitement, and one coin that turned pocket change into unbelievable treasure. That coin is the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. If you are a coin lover, this is the moment to listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is one of the most talked about stories in American coin collecting. At first glance, the Wisconsin Quarter looks simple and peaceful. It shows a proud cow, a round wheel of cheese, and a stalk of corn, symbols of the state's rich farming heritage. It looks like a friendly design, like something you wouldn't expect to become famous. But what no one predicted was that a small mistake in this design would turn into one of the most legendary error coins in the entire 50 states program. Collectors call it the leaf mystery. On the corn stalk of the Wisconsin Quarter, some coins show an extra leaf. But not just one type. There are two different varieties, and both became incredibly sought after. One is known as the extra low leaf, where a small leaf appears below the main husk. The other is the extra high leaf, where that mysterious leaf appears above the husk, almost floating in a place where no leaf should naturally exist. This strange addition is what made collectors go absolutely wild when the error was discovered. Imagine holding a coin that millions of people spent without noticing, but only a tiny fraction had this mysterious added detail. The moment collectors found out about the extra leaf varieties, searches began everywhere. People rushed to banks, coin rolls sold out, and everyone hoped to find that one rare piece. Some believe the leaf was created by accident during maintenance of the dies. Others think someone intentionally made the modification. Whatever the cause, the result was explosive interest and huge value for these error coins, but the excitement doesn't stop there. The Wisconsin State Quarter also appears with other rare mint errors. Some coins show die cracks that run through the cow's head, the cheese rind, or the corn husk. These cracks look like lightning frozen in metal, and each coin is completely unique, making them extremely collectible. Others have off-center strikes, where part of the design shifts sideways, leaving blank space on the edge. Dramatic off-center errors always attract serious collectors because the more the design drifts, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin expands wider than normal because it was struck without the collar that shapes its edges. When you hold one, it feels different immediately, like a distended version of a regular quarter. These stand out the moment you see them. A few rare Wisconsin quarters have been found struck on wrong metal planchets, creating coins that are thinner, lighter, or smaller than usual. And then there are the missing clad layer errors, where one side of the coin turns copper-colored. These dramatic color differences catch the eye instantly. Even regular Wisconsin quarters in flawless mint condition can be valuable. When kept untouched, without scratches or bag marks, these coins shine like mirrors under the light. High-grade pieces certified by professional grading companies can bring strong prices because collectors want the best examples of every state quarter, but the true legend remains the extra leaf errors. The extra low leaf variety shows a curved leaf shaped like a droplet. The extra high leaf variety looks almost like a small blade pointing upward. Both are incredibly rare. And what makes this story even more exciting is that thousands of people still search for these coins today. They check old jars, they hunt through rolls, they examine every 2004 quarter they find. Many people have discovered rare leaf errors without realizing it until years later. That is the thrill of coin collecting, treasure hidden in plain sight. This coin has become one of the most famous error coins of the modern age. It transformed ordinary pocket change into a phenomenon. It created stories of people finding coins worth far more than 25 cents. And it continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. The Wisconsin quarter reminds us that even in everyday life, something remarkable can appear when we least expect it. Now, as promised, here is the real market information in simple words. A normal circulated Wisconsin quarter is worth its face value. But the rare extra low leaf and extra high leaf varieties, along with dramatic mint errors and high grade mint state examples, have sold in real auctions for amounts reaching several $100s, and in the most exceptional cases, more than $1,000 in words. Coin number 4. A coin appears that carries history, mystery, beauty, and unexpected value all inside one small piece of metal. And today, we dive deep into one of the most striking designs of the entire United States State Quarter program, the 2007 Montana State Quarter. A coin that shows the rugged spirit of the American West, the untamed wilderness, and a powerful symbol that captures the identity of Montana. But what makes this coin even more fascinating is the hidden world of rare errors and collectible varieties that turn a 25-cent coin into a treasure hunt for collectors. On the front of this coin, you see something unforgettable. A massive bison skull, weathered by time, floating above the open plains. Below it, the words "Big Sky Country" stretch across the landscape. It's a design unlike any other state quarter, because it embraces the raw beauty of Montana's wild history. The bison skull is not just art, it symbolizes life, death, and survival in the frontier. And that symbolic depth is part of what makes collectors love this coin so passionately, but the design is only half the story. The real excitement for collectors comes from the rare errors created during the minting process, errors so unusual that even casual coin hunters can instantly recognize them if they know what to look for. Some of these mistakes are extremely valuable, and discovering one feels like uncovering a hidden treasure buried inside your pocket change. One of the most intriguing varieties found on the Montana State Quarter is the doubled die error. On these rare coins, portions of the lettering, especially Big Sky Country or Montana, appear slightly doubled, giving a faint shadowed effect. This doubling happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts ever so slightly, creating an image that collectors go crazy for. Doubling on the bison skull itself is even more exciting. When the outlines of the horns or the eye sockets appear doubled, the coin becomes instantly desirable. Another highly collectible error is the die crack variety. These cracks appear like tiny lightning strikes running across the design. Some cracks run through the skull, others stretch across the planes, and a few connect the skull to the rim of the coin. Each crack is unique, which means no two error coins are the same. Some collectors try to build entire collections of Montana die cracks because each one looks like natural artwork formed by accident. There are also off-center strikes, where the entire design shifts noticeably to one side, revealing a crescent of blank metal on the opposite edge. These errors are obvious even without magnification and are extremely popular among collectors. Off-center errors become more valuable the further the design drifts from the center. A dramatic shift can turn a simple quarter into a highly desirable piece. Another error that appears on some Montana quarters is the broad strike. These coins were struck without the collar ring, which normally shapes the edge. Without it, the quarter spreads out wider than usual, with a smooth edge instead of the standard ridges. When you hold a broad-struck quarter, you immediately feel it is different. These errors often escape unnoticed into circulation, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to pull them from pocket change. Then there are wrong planchet errors, where the Montana design was accidentally struck on metal intended for another denomination. A quarter struck on a dime planchet is smaller and lighter with missing parts of the design, while one struck on an experimental or foreign planchet becomes even rarer. These errors are among the most sought after by advanced collectors because they occur rarely and are extremely valuable when discovered. Missing clad layer errors also appear occasionally. In these coins, the outer layer of the metal fails to bond, causing one side to show a copper-colored surface while the other remains silver. The Montana design looks dramatic on these error coins because the dark, reddish copper makes the skull and planes stand out with intense contrast. These are easy to recognize and highly collectible. Even perfectly struck Montana quarters can hold value if they remain in pristine condition. High-grade mint state examples with strong luster, sharp details, and untouched surfaces can command strong prices when professionally graded. Collectors are always searching for the highest quality examples because only a small percentage survive without scratches or bag marks. The Montana State Quarter remains one of the most iconic designs of the entire 50 States series. Its bold artwork, deep meaning, and powerful symbolism draw collectors in. But what truly makes this coin special is the thrilling hunt for rare errors. Every time you check your change, every time you open a jar of coins, every time you search a roll from the bank, there is a chance, however small, that one of these valuable pieces could be waiting for you. That possibility is what keeps the passion for coin collecting alive. And now, as promised, here is the real market value in simple words. A normal circulated Montana quarter is worth face value, but rare doubled dies, dramatic mint errors, missing clad layers, off-center strikes, wrong planchet pieces, and high-grade mint state examples have sold in real auctions for amounts reaching several $100s, and in the most exceptional cases, more than $1,000 in words. Coin number 5. Every collector knows the thrill of finding a coin that looks simple on the outside but hides a world of history, mystery, and value beneath its surface. And today, we explore one of the most meaningful designs from the early years of the State Quarter program, the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter. A coin that honors the birthplace of the American Revolution, a coin that symbolizes courage and independence, and a coin that has surprised collectors with rare errors and valuable varieties that turn everyday change into hidden treasure. The design of this quarter immediately catches your eye. At the center stands the Minuteman statue, a powerful symbol of the ordinary citizens who rose to defend freedom at a moment's notice. Behind him is the outline of the entire state of Massachusetts, a map that frames the figure perfectly. And around the edges you see the words "the Bay State," reminding us of one of the earliest and most influential regions in America's history. This combination of historical significance and bold imagery makes this coin a favorite among collectors worldwide, but for those who look even closer, the story becomes much more exciting. Because while millions of these coins were released into circulation, only a tiny fraction carry the rare minting errors that transform an ordinary piece of metal into a valuable collector's piece. These are the coins that make hobbyists examine each detail, that make people pull out magnifying glasses, and that fill coin rolls with hope and anticipation. One of the most fascinating errors found on this coin is the doubled die variety. In these rare examples, the lettering around the map shows doubling that appears like a faint shadow behind the main text. Sometimes the doubling can be seen on the Minuteman's musket, his hat, or even the state outline itself. This subtle doubling happens when the die shifts during the creation process, leaving behind a stamp that appears slightly duplicated. For collectors, a clear doubled die can turn a simple quarter into a prized treasure. Another thrilling variety is the die crack error. These tiny fractures emerge like lightning lines crossing the map or cutting across the Minuteman's arm or musket. Each die crack is totally unique, making every affected coin a one-of-a-kind discovery. Some cracks are small and delicate, while others stretch across the design in dramatic fashion, adding a rugged, accidental beauty to the coin. The coin also appears with off-center strike errors. These are coins where the design shifts noticeably to one side, leaving a blank crescent along the opposite edge. Even a mild off-center strike can add value, but the most dramatic examples, where the Minuteman is pushed far toward the rim, become extremely collectible. These errors are easy to spot even without tools, which is why many coin hunters dream of finding one in circulation. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin was struck without the collar ring that shapes its edges. These quarters spread outward slightly, with a wider, smoother rim and a softer feel to the touch. They look stretched, like a regular quarter that expanded in the minting process. Because they stand out so clearly, these broad strike errors are very appealing to collectors who love unusual, eye-catching pieces. Some of the rarest Massachusetts quarter errors are wrong planchet strikes. These occur when the quarter design is mistakenly struck on metal intended for another coin, such as a dime planchet. When this happens, the coin becomes noticeably smaller, thinner, and missing large portions of the design. Wrong planchet coins are extremely scarce and always bring high interest whenever they appear in auctions. There are also missing clad layer errors, where one side of the coin shows a copper-colored surface instead of the normal silver appearance. When the outer layer fails to bond correctly, it exposes the copper beneath, creating a sharp color contrast that makes the Minuteman and the state map appear far more vivid. These errors are easy to identify and very desirable among collectors who appreciate dramatic visual differences. Even without errors, high-grade examples from 2000 can be surprisingly valuable. Coins kept in perfect mint condition, free from scratches, bag marks, or dulling, can rise significantly in price when professionally graded. The highest grades are extremely rare, because most quarters from this year entered circulation almost immediately and picked up damage along the way. Finding a flawless example today feels like discovering a piece frozen in time. Collectors love the Massachusetts State Quarter because it carries not just design, but meaning, freedom, courage, and the spirit of American identity. Add the thrill of rare errors, and this coin becomes one of the most exciting pieces to search for. Every time someone looks at their spare change, every time they search through a coin roll, every time they open an old jar of forgotten coins, there is a chance that one of these rare varieties could be waiting for them. That possibility is what makes coin collecting magical. And now, as promised, the real market value in simple words. A normal circulated 2000 Massachusetts quarter is worth face value, but rare doubled dies, dramatic mint errors, missing clad layers, off-center strikes, wrong planchet pieces, and high-grade mint state examples have sold in real auctions for amounts reaching several $100s, and in the most exceptional cases, more than $1,000 in words. Coin number 6. A story of history, culture, resilience, and the kind of mystery that collectors love because ordinary people can spend years searching through pocket change and never realize they might be holding something special. Today, we take a deep dive into the world of the Louisiana Quarter, a coin that millions of people have handled, but only the most observant collectors know how rare, valuable, and fascinating this coin can truly be. Imagine holding a coin that connects the modern United States to the 1800s era of the Louisiana Purchase, a coin that marks an important milestone in American expansion and cultural merging. The Louisiana State Quarter was designed to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Louisiana Purchase, one of the most important transactions in American history. At first glance it seems simple: the outline of the state, the trumpets celebrating Louisiana's powerful connection to jazz, and the bird representing the brown pelican. But beneath this artwork lies a layer of rarity that only coin lovers with sharp eyes appreciate. Collectors often say that the Louisiana Quarter is one of the most underestimated coins of the entire state quarter program. Why? Because the normal circulation strike version is easy to find, but the rare errors, those mistakes created inside the mint, are what transform this ordinary 25-cent piece into a prized collectible worth far more than face value. And believe me, some of those errors are truly incredible. One of the most famous and desirable types of rare Louisiana quarters is the off-center strike. When the coin is not correctly aligned between the dies, the design shifts dramatically to one side, leaving blank metal on the opposite side. A large off-center Louisiana quarter can stop a collector's heart instantly because the bigger the shift, the more valuable the coin. Some off-center errors show the state outline pushed dangerously close to the rim, creating a dramatic and eye-catching effect that makes collectors chase them every single day. Another rare and highly sought-after variety is the double die coin. A doubled design element, whether it appears on the trumpet, the pelican, the state outline, or the lettering, creates a shadow-like duplication that is immediately visible under magnification. Some Louisiana quarters show very strong doubling on the words Louisiana Purchase or on the details of the trumpet, making them extremely collectible because such dramatic doubling is less common in the state quarter series. But the excitement does not end there. A smaller but extremely valuable category includes coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a Louisiana quarter that weighs less than it should because it was accidentally struck on a one-dime metal blank, or one that appears unusually golden because it was struck on a leftover foreign coin planchet. These are the kinds of mint mistakes that can transform a simple pocket change discovery into a life-changing moment for a treasure hunter. Another fascinating error is the clipped planchet. This happens when part of the coin blank is cut incorrectly at the mint, leaving a curved chunk missing from the rim. A clipped Louisiana quarter is instantly recognizable and highly collectible because each one is unique and visually striking. The 2002 Louisiana quarter also carries an emotional appeal that collectors love. Many people from Louisiana and those with deep cultural roots in the state see this coin as a symbol of heritage, resilience, music, and history. Combine that with rare variations, dramatic errors, and unusual minting anomalies, and you get a coin that continues to grow in popularity year after year. And yes, while millions of normal Louisiana quarters exist, the rare ones are becoming harder to find as collectors remove them from circulation permanently. Every year that passes shrinks the pool of potential discoveries in pocket change, making your chances of finding a valuable example even more exciting. Now it's time to talk about what everyone waits for: the real numbers. The real value. The real auction results. Only actual market prices, nothing exaggerated. A normal uncirculated Louisiana state quarter can sell for between $2 and $20 depending on condition. A strong doubled die Louisiana quarter has sold in auctions for more than $100. A dramatic off-center strike has reached auction totals of $300. A clipped planchet Louisiana quarter has sold for around $150. And an extremely rare wrong planchet Louisiana quarter has sold in major auctions for more than $1,000. Coin number 7. When the first wave of the state quarter program began in 1999, nobody knew that one of these early coins would become one of the most fascinating, mysterious, and heavily collected pieces in American pocket change. And in that very first group, the Connecticut state quarter stood out not only because of its beautiful design, but because of the surprises the mint never expected. Today, we explore the world of the 1999 Connecticut quarter, a coin that looks simple at first glance, yet hides some of the most unexpected and valuable errors ever seen in modern United States coinage. Picture this: you empty your pockets, you check the change from the grocery store, and suddenly you notice a coin with one of the most iconic images in American history, the ancient charter oak. A massive, spreading tree with historical roots deeper than most people even realize. For many collectors, this image represents the birth of freedom, the survival of colonial rights, and the spirit that helped shape early America. But for coin hunters, the same tree represents an entirely different kind of treasure: minting mistakes, hidden varieties, rare strikes, and collectible surprises that have turned ordinary pocket change into exciting discoveries. The Connecticut quarter is known for its breathtaking detail. The hundreds of branches, the twisting limbs, the complex patterns, this design pushed the mint to its limits. And anytime the mint is pushed, something unusual can happen. That's why the 1999 Connecticut quarter has become famous for having some of the rarest and most dramatic errors of the entire state quarter series. One of the most wanted treasure pieces among collectors is the off-center Connecticut quarter. When the coin blank shifts too far to one side during striking, the charter oak appears pushed toward the rim, leaving part of the design cut off. Lightly off-center coins bring modest premiums, but heavily off-center pieces, where the missing metal becomes obvious, can be worth far more. A dramatic shift with the dates still visible is especially prized. Then there is the double strike error. This happens when the coin is struck once, and then struck again, either slightly rotated or shifted. On the Connecticut quarter, a double strike can make the branches appear doubled or even ghost-like. These pieces are extremely collectible because each one looks unique, almost like the tree is growing in two directions. Another error that fascinates collectors is the broad strike. This happens when the collar that shapes the rim of the coin fails to hold it in place. The result is a Connecticut quarter that appears stretched, wider, and completely without the normal raised rim. Imagine the charter oak flowing out toward the edge, creating a striking, unusual look that instantly tells experienced collectors that this is not an ordinary coin. But the error that has become legendary among coin hunters is the wrong planchet strike. In 1999, the U.S. Mint was producing many denominations at once, which created the perfect opportunity for accidents. A Connecticut quarter struck on a one-dime planchet weighs less, looks thinner, and appears silver gray instead of copper nickel. Even more dramatic are examples struck on foreign coin blanks left inside the mint from earlier production runs. These rare mistakes can transform a 25-cent coin into a $1,000 treasure. There is also the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the metal sheet was punched incorrectly, leaving a curved cut missing from the edge of the coin. The charter oak design bends with the curve, giving these coins a distinctive and eye-catching look. Collectors love these because no two clipped planchets are the same, and then we have one of the most visually stunning issues: die cracks. The Connecticut design has so many branches that even the smallest crack on the die can create beautiful raised lines across the tree. Some collectors actually nickname these coins lightning strike trees. While some cracks are minor, others can stretch from the rim all the way into the branches, making the coin much more desirable. The 1999 Connecticut quarter also benefits from being part of the very first year of the state quarter program. Coins from the first year have always attracted extra attention, and because so many people saved them, high-grade examples are still being discovered today. But among those millions of ordinary coins, the rare ones, the errors, the anomalies, the unexpected beauties, are the ones collectors hunt most because they reveal a moment inside the mint that was never supposed to happen. Now let's talk about value, the real numbers, the real market prices, the actual auction results only. A normal uncirculated Connecticut quarter can sell for between $5 and $20 depending on grade. A clipped planchet Connecticut quarter has sold for more than $100. A broad strike example has reached auction bids of around $150. A dramatic off-center strike has sold for more than $300. A double-struck Connecticut quarter has gone for over $400. And the rare wrong planchet Connecticut quarter, especially one struck on a dime blank, has sold in major auctions for more than $1,000.